Hi! At the request of a lot of friends and family, I'm going to be doing a quick video on acrylic pour painting. That's the main type of art I've been doing lately, thanks to my good buddy Mel for getting me interested in it. The most basic thing you can do, or way to do pour painting, is you dump acrylic paint in a cup, you dump it out onto the canvas, tilt it around. It can be a lot more expensive than that. I'm going to be using Floetrol to thin my paint. It keeps the consistency liquidy for the canvas, and it keeps it from drying quickly, but it doesn't really change the colors or anything in the paints, so it's pretty good for thinning it out and getting the results you want, but not aging the painting prematurely. If you just thin it with water, it's not really going to stick to the painting for very long. So I have already prepared my paints with Floetrol, 2 parts Floetrol, 1 part acrylic paint, and then I added a little bit of water just to make sure it was the right consistency. A little bit of water, I don't know, 1/8 of a part, it shouldn't make that big of a difference. The other thing I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be adding some treadmill belt lubricant, that's 100% silicone, to some of the colors. I'm not going to be doing it to the black or white. I want the bubbles, this really cool effect you'll see, hopefully. I want those bubbles to be in the other colors. So I've mixed up some paints. It's greenish yellow, that's my custom color name. I got this hot pink, and these are all Artist Loft. So for the green one that I mixed with stuff, I can't remember what that, oh, it's apple barrel, I think, from Walmart. Anyway, I did like this really pretty teal color. Some other blue teal thing. That's also a custom name by me. And then, of course, black and white. I'm going to do black for the negative space, and then white to make the cells show up. So, I'm also going to be using a blowtorch, my favorite thing ever. It pops the bubbles in the paint once you've poured it on, and creates helps create those cells. You don't need silicone to create cells. You can do it with just Floetrol. You can do a swipe method. You can do all sorts of stuff to create all this interesting, fun stuff with pour painting, but I like to use the silicone. I'm just going to use a few drops per painting. Whoa! That could have been really bad or really awesome. There we go. I think I did that last time too. So a couple drops to the pink, and a couple to the greenish yellow, and a few to the teal green. You know, I'm going to leave this one as is, because I'm going to be doing a lot of painting today, and I don't want silicone in all of my paints. So, I'm also going to be using a teeny tiny cup. This is called a dirty cup pour. This is the first one I learned. So I'm going to be layering the paints in that little cup, dumping it onto the canvas, seeing what happens. Just going to give the silicone a little stir. I don't want to break it up too much, it'll create tiny cells. And I do want, hopefully, some bigger cells. So I'm going to put the white in first. I mixed all these about 2 hours ago, and I shook up the black and white because I mixed up a very large amount of it, because that's what I use the most. And all the bubbles should have settled by now. I'm going to layer white in between these colors because greenish yellow is a mixed color from a primary, so it's a secondary color. And I don't want it to turn muddy, so hopefully it doesn't make it muddy. A little green. I can keep these next to each other because they're pretty close. And you can layer it over and over and over. I'm probably just going to pour one of each color layer. Maybe a little extra pink. And the higher up you pour it from your cup, the more the colors mix. I don't want them to mix too much. I have not yet, I've only poured with pink once and I haven't done a dirty pour with it, so I'm not exactly sure how the pink's gonna react with all this, but hopefully it will be pretty. So I did prepare my canvas. Just on the back I put some painter's tape. It protects the back. I think it looks a lot neater. You can always paint over the drips, or you can just leave them. I like that when it drips down the side, so I definitely want to leave that clear. But I want to protect the back of it as much as I can. I put push pins in the corners so that when it sits, it doesn't stick to the table. I also have Reynolds kitchen freezer paper across the table because the paint that drips on to the table, I can save it and use for other stuff. And it's usually really pretty, sometimes even prettier than the painting I've done. But anyway, so the table's been prepared with that. I got my paints all poured in my little cup. And got my torch ready. And I think I'm ready. So, hey, my brother's here. Hello. Here we go. Here's the paint, layered. It's gonna get one little stir to mix it, just a tad. I don't want to muddy, but just a little teeny stir. And here we go. I'm gonna do it a little bit off-centered. And then I'm going to tilt you guys down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Hopefully I won't knock this off the handy stand. Yeah, you can see it well enough, I think. So yeah, I've got my paint coming down out of the cup. The white paint is going to flow down over the other paint. Hopefully it should look pretty cool. And then I'm going to dump some black around it. You can dump paint on the canvas ahead of time. It does help the other colors. It kind of gives them a cushion and it helps them flow better. I did not do that because I kind of like the effect that this has. So I'm gonna spread that out just a touch. This might be a little bit thick, but I think it's gonna be okay. And it's okay if it goes on the edges. I want it to because I like how the edges look covered. So I'll just do that. And if I need more, I can add more. Let's see. Y'all back? Oh my gosh, that was awful. Okay, here we go again. Poor internet connection, of course. So, as I was saying, I'm gonna torch this, it's popping the cells, and it's gonna, after I pop them, I will stretch them out. And, yeah, I don't know if you could see this very well, but trust me, it's fun. So yeah, this is, you don't want to get the torch too close because it'll create like a gross, like a pudding skin made of paint. So yeah, I don't think I got too close, but yeah, if you get too close with it, it wrecks the paint, makes it chunky, and then you have to dig it out. So just kind of guide the edges a little bit. Oh, this is really cool. Don't want to get rid of this part here because I really like it. So I'll just spread it a tiny bit and just kind of do this around the edges. Yeah, that's basically it. You know, you can, because it stays wet so long, you can tilt and mess with it for quite a while. But I find the more you mess with it, the less desirable the results are. So that's how I feel about it. So yeah, there's acrylic pour painting. I can't tilt it too much. I don't want to change the composition very much because I'm really happy with it. So yeah, I'll post the finished product after I torch it a little bit more, and you can revel in hopefully what you think is glory. I think it's very pretty, so thank you for watching. Oh, fire on. A little more. If anybody wants to do this, me and Mel and I do classes. You can head over to Instagram, Barry Claremont Art Studios on Instagram, and give us a little shout there and see